Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. If your little one has trouble sleeping through the night, it could be connected to their body temperature. Here to share how you can help them get a better night's rest, we welcome back registered nurse and sleep coach, Alexandra Klenovich. Great to see you.
Great to see you too. Thank you for having me.
If our babies are sleeping, we're better rested.
Yes.
So we got to get this figured out.
True. 1,000% true. And a lot of what I hear is, what do I put them in, right?
True.
Especially after we just had that crazy weather and it was really, really cold, but then now we're in 50s, almost 60s. What do we put them to sleep in?
And our instinct is to overbundle, especially with those newborns, but we gotta reel it in a little bit.
Yes, because we don't want them overheating, and we'll get to that.
Okay, so let's talk about the TOG rating.
Yeah.
You see that on tags and things. What does that mean?
So that means the thermal overall grade. That's what TOG stands for. And customarily, you'll see it applied to sleep sacks like we have here on the table, or sometimes it's in pajamas. And basically what that means is how much temperature is going to be retained or kept close to the body.
Okay.
So really, the thing to note with that is that it's not regulated. There's no regulatory body. So each company that provides sleepwear for children will perform their own rating and apply their own TOG rating. But it's helpful to keep in mind when we're dressing our children for bedtime.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's,
sorry. So essentially, the higher the TOG, the thicker the product is.
Okay.
And the lower the TOG, like a 0.5 or a 1, the thinner the product is or the lighter the product is. So more airflow or permeability of heat.
Okay, so let's talk about too hot versus too cold.
Right.
How do you find the happy medium, or I guess how to know that you're not there yet?
Yeah, so too hot is what we really want to avoid, because overheating with babies is what could lead or add to a risk factor of sudden infant death.
Yeah.
So we really want to avoid overheating. And like you had mentioned, our, where we lean is to bundle. So I always say, ideally you want your room temperature to be 68 to 72 degrees, right? And if you're controlling that throughout each season, then what you dress your baby in for bedtime, be it winter, be it summer, really doesn't have to change much.
Okay.
So trying to avoid that overheating, and then how to tell if baby's too warm or too hot, right?
Right.
Check their core.
Okay.
Our, innate thing is to check their hands and toes.
Yeah.
And those are always cold. Mine are cold right now,
yes,
right?
Always,
yes, always
yeah.
cold. So when you want to check for baby's actual temperature, you want to check their core. So feel their chest. You can even feel the back of their neck, like right here.
Oh, okay.
Baby, to see how warm they are, and then feel this chest area or back here to check their temperature. You don't want to feel the hands or the feet, right? Because that's going to not be accurate for you. And then you're going to be dressing for this when this may be really warm.
And the back of the neck, that's a good spot, because you don't have to totally undo everything that they're in to figure it out. Okay. So, yeah, we don't really have to worry about the transition of seasons too much.
Ideally, no, but if you are worried about it, like, as summertime comes, you may go camping, right? And babies don't have sleeping bags. Yeah. But what they do have is they have their sleep sacks or their wearable blankets.
Amazing.
They're amazing. They're usually designed with a TOG rating, but then also based on weight and age of a baby. Okay. And that can transition and change as they grow. So what I suggest, layer, if you're going camping. Yeah. Layer their pajamas, stack them on top of each other, and then put on a thicker sleep sack. Yeah. But if it's summertime and you're just in your home, I would say you could do a thin pajama with a thinner sleep sack, and they should be fairly comfortable. Or even this, babies grow and their temperatures change. Right. And they're able to regulate their temperature better. They can be in a sleep sack with just their diaper.
For sure. When it's nice and warm in the house and maybe your AC went out, you don't need to worry about all that clothing on them.
You have a lot ability to control.
So then as they age and progress, let's say toddler to little kid age, are there certain things to look for? Because my kids are super independent right now in what they want to choose to wear, even at bedtime.
Yes, totally. So over the age of 1, they can start having a blanket in bed with them or in their crib with them. So that's when you can give them the freedom of picking a blanket, having that autonomy of what they have in their bed with them. And then also, my kids hate socks, so they're never going to sleep with socks on. But if your kid does, then keep that in mind and do a shorter sleeve so that they're not overheating. Yeah. And then kind of dressing for the winter and accommodating for that. So longer pajamas, long pants, and then long sleeves. Yeah. And then as summertime happens, even though the temperature in the room is still the same, go for short sleeves so they can keep cool in the same environment.
And you know your kids best. If they're having a rough time sleeping, you can check in and maybe make the adjustment.
Right, 1,000%.
Okay,
totally.
we can do it.
Yes, you can.
Great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll have more information about Alexandra on our website at katu.com. And we'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.